A transsexual satanist anarchist wins a Republican primary for sheriff. Does this mean the system is broken? Welcome back to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. 2020 has been an extremely bad news year, with the fiery but mostly peaceful protests, dangerous but mostly not deadly virus, and apocalyptic but mostly fiery wildfires. Which is why we need more uplifting news. The kind of story that comes along and restores your faith in your fellow man and woman and non-gender conforming person. Like this one. Transsexual satanist anarchist wins GOP nomination for sheriff in New Hampshire County. God bless America. No offense to the satanists out there. Aria DiMezzo is a self-described transsexual satanist anarchist and a high priestess of the Reformed Satanic Church. Now, the Reformed Satanic Church should not be confused with the Satanic Temple. The Satanic Temple was the one that placed this statue outside the Arkansas State Capitol building to protest a Ten Commandments statue, which we did an episode about 2 years ago. But one thing Satanists seem to have in common is that they're great at trolling. For example, this is DiMezzo's campaign logo, displayed prominently on her website. From the anarchist symbol to the tastefully censored F the police, it's pretty clear that DiMezzo is not what you would call a traditional Republican candidate for sheriff. Although keep in mind this is New Hampshire. The Granite State is known for its quirky politics. For example, the state's House of Representatives has 400 members, which makes it the third largest legislative body in the English-speaking world, and you only need about 1,000 votes to win a seat. Sounds like they can't take those votes for granted. New Hampshire also has one of the biggest populations of libertarians in the country, which makes sense for a state that prints "Live Free or Die" on their license plates. In fact, there's something called the Free State Project, which tries to encourage libertarians to move to New Hampshire so they can take over the government. They host a Porcupine Freedom Festival each year. And New Hampshire's most famous politician is probably 5-time actual presidential candidate Vermin Supreme. Yeah, he's a libertarian. So you get the picture. New Hampshire is a special state. But the fact that Aria DiMezzo is making headlines for her win in the Republican primary race shows that it's a bit out of the ordinary, even for New Hampshire. So how did it happen? DiMezzo is associated with a movement of libertarian activists and considers herself a libertarian anarchist. Back in 2018, she ran for Cheshire County Sheriff as a libertarian and got only about 2% of the vote. But this year, DiMezzo actually ran unopposed in the Republican primary for sheriff after the previous Republican candidate decided not to run. And she got more than 4,000 votes. The only opposition was a write-in campaign for the previous Republican candidate that got a couple hundred votes. I guess some people actually looked at her website. And the fact that so few people bothered to do their research was kind of DiMezzo's point. After winning the primary, DiMezzo wrote, "More than 4,000 people went into the voting booth on September 8th this week, and they all filled in the circle by my name despite knowing absolutely nothing about the person they were nominating to the most powerful law enforcement position in the county. That's a level of recklessness of which any decent human being should be ashamed." Never thought I'd say this, but the transsexual satanist anarchist has a good point. DiMezzo goes on to say that the fact that she won the Republican primary is proof that the system is broken. So how did the system, at least in terms of the Republican Party, react to DiMezzo's win? Marilyn Houston, the chair of the Cheshire County GOP, congratulated DiMezzo for the victory and told inside sources she did very well with the primary and that was wonderful. However, Houston said DiMezzo never showed up to the GOP meetings and events despite being invited. But DiMezzo says that no one in the Republican Party has contacted her. So what happens next? Well, DiMezzo will campaign against the current sheriff, Democrat Eli Rivera. Rivera has been Cheshire County Sheriff since 2013 and is running for his 5th term. So DiMezzo is unlikely to beat him. In fact, Rivera previously beat the Republican candidate, Earl Nelson, 4 times in a row. The first time in 2012, Rivera beat Nelson by only 55 votes. But after losing 4 times to Rivera, Nelson decided not to run this year, leaving the field open for DiMezzo. So does that mean the system is broken, like DiMezzo claims? It's true that many voters probably don't do enough research on candidates they vote for, and many trust the political parties to do the vetting for them. And with increasing polarization in the U.S., the political parties are encouraging this, with things like the Democrats' vote blue no matter who campaign. Primary elections are part of the vetting that political parties do. However, in this case, DiMezzo was running unopposed. The local Republican Party could have done a better job trying to get someone else to run. But on the other hand, they also didn't stop DiMezzo from running. DiMezzo's win is getting international headlines, and it's definitely been a shock to the system. But that's one of the great things about America. A total outsider can come in and shake things up. In a way, the system is working when someone who says the system is broken can come in and win. And it seems like it's pretty easy to get elected in New Hampshire, which makes it a great place for me to launch my campaign for Chris Chappell, Supreme Leader of these United States, for life. Do you think the libertarians would vote for me? So what do you think about DiMezzo's win in New Hampshire? Is the system broken? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like these episodes, we really could use your help. You can support the show for as little as $1 per episode on the crowdfunding website Patreon. Visit patreon.com/AmericaUncovered to learn how. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.